Ladies and gentlemen,
let's get started.
I have thought a lot in the last 24 hours.
Time to get your weekly sports fix.
By the skin of their teeth, they lost.
Then you can just ride it the whole thing.
With Stix.
They got a whole new little situation. See, it's been too long. See, they didn't. If
mine, maybe I need that. Maybe I need that update.
Apparently, they did a software upgrade because, I mean, man, see, that's what I'm saying. It happens sometimes. What happens is you take a little sabbaticals, and look what happened. You come back, and all of a sudden, they done changed the wheel.
You come back, and it's the new year, brother. Happy New Year, brother. Happy New Year. Can you even say that anymore since it's like the 4th day of the new year?
Man, yeah, come on, man. It's tomorrow. Everybody got to stop playing. If you're not 21 or in your young 20s, New Year is not a party situation. You happy to be alive tomorrow. That's all it is. You know what I mean? And the calendar flips over, so it's a new wild-ass year for you to look at for us old folks. You know what I'm saying, who happen to have 1-9 in the front of our birth year. 1-9, and then maybe a 7 after that. Oh, it gets wild for people to even imagine these kind of things. But yeah, seeing 2023 is nutcakes for me, bro.
Ain't that the truth, man? It was wild. Hey, you know what I did on my wild Saturday, New Year's Eve, brother?
What you do?
I tried to stay awake as long as I could after that 4:30 a.m. wake-up call. I think I made it to like 11:58, was laying in bed. I think I heard the fireworks for like the 2 hours before that. I was out at the crack of midnight, I think. I tried to stay up, man. It just wasn't happening. Too old.
I stopped doing it, bro. Yeah, I started even worried about it. If I go to sleep, I go to sleep, man. I'm not doing anything special. I'm not staying up for anything to see. Now, granted, I am lucky enough to live in the Pacific Northwest where we do have a televised monument where they do a bash for New Year's at the Space Needle. So we do have that. They don't have a Hollywood thing, Southern California. They don't have a thing. Maybe they do something, but it ain't the Ball. It ain't Times Square. We got a thing, okay? And every now and again I'll stay up to watch it, but I don't pressure myself. I'll be asleep half the time. This time I did. And we chilled out, you know what I mean? But
you got the little kiddos though too. So you got, they up there, wilding out on that apple cider and
you already
cocoa.
You already know. Yeah.
And hot cocoa. So they're ready. They want to see the grown acting. The ball drop.
Yeah.
Hey, well, before we get started,
they're all Martinelli's apple cider mimosa'd up.
Martinelli's, yes, sir. In the glass bottle. Well, before we get all fired up here and get going, it's been a while. So if you haven't already, remember to subscribe, rate, and review on whatever favorite podcast platform you listen to. Go to thisisfunner.com for more podcasts and online content. Grab some merch while you're there from the Funner family. I hope you all utilize the Stix Miss 22 we gave you for like 2 weeks last month, and got some merch from there.
Come on,
check us out on YouTube. Sports Stix with Stix and Announce Big Homie. Subscribe and smash that like button. Follow us on Twitter and join the conversation. I'm Stix at Stix015. This guy is Announce Big Homie at homie_anonymous. He's been holding it down for us the last month while old Stix has been out playing around in the snow and the ice and the curbs and the streets of the Tri-City
risking his
area.
Life. A Russian roulette with his life and an icicle. Yeah.
See, for real though. So hey, for all of you all, you always want to know. You want to know what Stix the big homie you're up to. So that's why we've been on a little hiatus. Your boy over here, Stix, actually found a job.
Bros,
my guy, brother.
Go ahead.
I said it, my guy. I sent you the first 2 of the 4 days. Okay, first of all, the first 3 the other day, literally the other day, I think it was like Friday or Saturday, whatever today is, Tuesday, Wednesday. Anyways, a few days ago, the only day that I got started to drive on dry land, since there's no ice and snow, but thought I was out there. I was out there playing ice road truckers for the first 3 weeks.
Yo,
So 2 of the first 4
hey,
days, first day was in the van. I got stuck in the ice, no chains. Fourth day, driving the mail truck. I slammed that puppy into a curb off some ice. Man, I was on a
bro.
roll. But you know what? Your boy hasn't got smoked yet.
Well, I sure damn hope not. Okay. I mean, I sure would hope not. There's enough experience and enough gray hairs on your head enough to, to go into a situation where, they're handing out free money. All you have to do is go and drop off these little pamphlets throughout the neighborhood. Sounds kind of like Robin Hood to me. You know what I'm saying? I've always been
My ass.
envious.
I'm out there carrying freaking Amazon packages from the stay-at-home mamas ordering everything underneath the sun. If I have to go to the same motherfucking house 3 days in a row, if I'm on that route, you got a fucking problem, brother.
Hell yeah. Bruh, come on, man. You get to become acquainted, a front man, a pillar in the community. Literally, because you know the community better than the community know the community. Come on, dog. They should be coming to you like you legitimately running for mayor. Holler.
Yeah, I have to put my name in the hat sooner or later. You know how it was.
In the corner, come holler at you.
Once a mayor before the mayor of Bellevue, I can be the mayor of somewhere around here. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we
Town hall meeting.
What have you been up to, homie? You get that Bo Jackson surgery yet? I don't know. I haven't heard from you in a while.
Hell no. I am progressively getting worse in terms of physical capability. But it is what it is until they saw this piece of bone off and put a new one on. I know what a hip replacement surgery looks like. If you were to have a skeleton here right now, I've gone that far with it. So all of the consultations and all this stuff is happening now. It's literally like being on a list and a trick because everybody, there's still a little bit of a lag after COVID with everybody wanting to do procedures. The medical industry in our country is the best in the world, right? But it is mad flawed, G, right? You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want to do shit medically in no other country. You know what I'm saying? With a doctor coming out with a rusty ass steak knife talking about, I got you. You know what I mean? So at least we over here with technology and capability to do stuff with science and things like this. So, but there's a lot going on. They still dealing with supply chain and there are people leaving the medical industry. I found out when would you ever think that people would not or leave the profession of being a doctor? Don't you think that that's one of those things where you're papered up so much that you tolerate dealing with people's bunions and corns because you decided to be a podiatrist, but you're papered up and you're driving a Porsche? I think you would deal with somebody's bunions, right?
Yeah, especially when, once you've seen one, you've seen them all, and then you just figure it out and write the prescription in and out. You get to see so many people then and there. Just like a freaking dermatologist. That's what I'm saying. Or something.
It would just be like us. Yeah, I mean, we could do it like with our eyes closed, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. With the old thing, right? So
back at the old trap.
But apparently there are a lot of people that are leaving the medical profession. So I've seen a total of 4 people in one department. 4 doctors I've had, and all because of leaving, right? My standard doctor, my standard doctor hasn't changed. I've been all over the ortho department. I done been sports medicine, regional occupational therapy, bro. They out here trying to put.
You got a frequent flyer card, just like the pass that you had for the examination ER room.
I don't know who's old enough to do what, but they trying to put your boy back together like the OG Steve Austin. I'm talking about the $6 million man. They have the money. They have the technology. We can rebuild him. I'm saying let's go in and do everything. Let's do the LASIK. I'm coming out like Iron Man, G, after all of this. Why not? I mean, look, I could be the first medical miracle, you know what I'm saying? With no cosmetic situations, though. But, well, maybe the eyes. But outside of that, you know what I mean? Yo, I'm talking about top to man. You might as well give me a total overhaul. Give me a tune-up. I ain't mad.
Why they got you out? They might as well fix it all.
2 for
Go
one
with
special. The old 2 birds.
Shit. Well, hey, good to see you again, homie. Even though
But
it's
clearly,
BIA.
yeah, man.
Hey,
Of course, man. We
it's
know
been
what
a
it is. I
minute.
mean, the world hasn't known what we've been up to. Well, we've been catching up, man. But the world has been moving.
Man, well, you'll have to
Oh
tell
my
me what's
God, the
going
world has
on,
keep
brother. You have to
moving,
tell me
whether we
what's going
talking
on.
about it or not. Nothing. Nothing happened on Monday Night Football, especially. Okay.
Damn.
In case you wanted to know, nothing happened on Monday Night Football, G.
That's funny. I mean, that's not funny, but I mean, that's crazy because I think that other than Sunday, I watched the Seahawks game on Sunday. I can't remember it because I was so damn tired. But
yeah,
Monday I actually got off early. First time I've been off before 5 o'clock or around 5 o'clock in 3.5 weeks or whatever.
that's what's up, man.
And I pulled into Applebee's to watch the game, and like I couldn't
right.
I couldn't hear it. I only could see it, and I'm like, what the hell? So I'm texting you and texting Chris and all these guys trying to figure out what the hell's going on. But man, that was some wild shit I hear and seeing a couple clips, but didn't look anything out of the ordinary to me.
Okay, so when you got, and I'm not, look, I don't care about nothing. I don't have no shame. The world, I mean, people who know me, they know this, right? I don't care to say what I said. What was the first thing that I text you? In regards to this, in regards to this topic. If you don't want to say it, I'll say it. But what did I say?
The not like it's the first time the NFL's seen somebody die on the field. Is that it?
Well, no, I said something to the effect, something like that. Like we would expect the NFL to be up to some stuff like this. But did we just see somebody die, G? That's what I was asking. I think we just I was dead serious. I thought that's what we saw.
When you were watching
and
it
people
live,
are out here being ultra.
You saw it live and heard it and everything.
Exactly. It was different. The vibe, the feeling was different. Okay. And I don't care what nobody says. Everybody wants to be self-righteous now and say, oh man, don't talk about that. And don't talk about this and that. Yo, I'm trying to tell you right damn now, in the moment, I'm sitting up here like I'm having all kinds of thoughts, right? But at the same time, I'm literally thinking because of the visual clues. And I'm going to tell you what the big homie was doing. So you just told me what you were doing. People, everybody is in my house on TV. I'm sitting back in the kitchen and I have my phone, the earbuds in my ear, and I'm watching it on the TV because we was watching a movie at the same time. I figure I'm just going to follow it because I got this fantasy situation going on in a championship with this Stefon Diggs running for the championship potential. Okay. So I said, I'm going to watch it for this long, and then I'm going to send off the text of good game, and then, you know what I mean? And then we'll move on with life, right? Yep. And I probably won't even watch the game. I'll finish watching the movie. But all of a sudden, I see the tackle. Boom. He gets up, and then all of a sudden, boom, we know what the film looks like, right? And all of a sudden, the cameramen are doing their normal work, except for I don't think that they were supposed to catch real life facial expressions of men who had seen something they had never saw before. And at that moment, I knew this was real. This was something totally different. And that's when I texted you immediately. I said, dude, I don't know where you are, but I think we just saw a dude die on the field, G. And I don't know how the NFL is about to deal with this, because we've talked about this in concept before. Like, what happened to NFL? Because we were talking about hard hits and everything, right? You know what I mean? Right, we've talked about this. And I'm going, yo, this game is not going to be played. I'm walking through the house muttering, going, there's no way. And everybody, they're sitting up here going, I'm interrupting the movie now because they don't understand what's going on, why I'm muttering around the house. So I'm going, yo, the faces on these individuals told me, from the aforementioned Stefon Diggs, who we know is a loudmouth. I've seen a look on my man's face that I ain't never seen. A man that you see, face that you see of somebody who was at the scene of an accident.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God forbid anybody ever been at one of them scenes. I've been a part of an accident, so I'll, any bystander or whatever. You look in on a scene and you see something graphic, it hits you in a way that your face cannot hide what you're really seeing in that moment. And then after that, you know how when a dude gets his leg twisted, the first thing that they do is move everybody back, and the two little trainer dudes with the tape on their belt come, and the little handbag with the stuff in it come over, right? And they get everybody out of the way. This time, because everybody had saw something they had never saw before, everybody was there. That was, the referees even weren't like, everybody get back, everybody get back. Because no one knew what to do in real time. It was a train wreck. And imagine, I can't even, then after that, it became ESPN trying to spin it for the NFL after that.
Yeah, and it was a cover-up for a good, 15 minutes of commercials, and then back to the field for a half a second. You still saw the groups of people, and then back to a commercial or back to a ESPN commentary talking about how this game shouldn't be played, blah, 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 blah. And they ultimately made the right decision. However, it sounds like that when you're talking about the group of people around, it sounds like that didn't last as long as it sounds like it could have, because didn't the ambulance get there like within a couple minutes of when that was going down?
It was definitely a couple minutes. But if you have to think in real time, how long is a commercial break? It's 2 minutes, right? So the first commercial break, a
couple of them,
exactly. The first commercial break was, this was the normal, hey, we've got a player down. We come back, and then it's, the player's still down, and the first team, the trainers and those guys are out there. Then they come out then the board comes out. Then we'll be back. We don't have anything. So now they come back the second time. And now when they come back, now the truck's out there, but the crowd is still there. Now the truck's out there. Now, granted, remember those live shots I showed you of these players' faces?
Right.
They had not showed those faces again in production for 30 minutes. They're not going to show you. Now, granted, if you didn't see those faces, the reactions live, you won't see them again for another 30 minutes of not knowing what's going on, right? They didn't show you clips again, anyone's face up close again. I guarantee you it was directed. They didn't show anyone's face again for a while. And then after a while, they started showing you, here are player reactions.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think this is what you were mentioning a little bit, like right at the beginning when you saw old boy Diggs in the face, on his face, that, oh damn, I've never seen this before, and this is traumatizing to me. That same visual, that same camera angle happens every time after a player's injured, right after a play, when a player's injured, until when you see, like you mentioned, when you see the trainers run out there with the bag, and they're focusing and they're trying to get the player's number, they're trying to get the visual of the player's leg, if it's a knee or an ankle or whatever, but they're obviously awake and conscious most of the time when they're doing that. So then, like you were saying, it's got to be a production call after they get, through the couple commercials, waiting for that ambulance to get there.
We're semi-live.
They said, okay, that's enough of that, because these are grown men in there,
we don't know. Right. We just, as a director, as a producer, calling camera 1, camera 10, all of this, imagine right in the moment, you have now seen something that you've never seen before.
Right.
Live. Now you have to produce a live show. That's like imagining producing live some of the wildest historical events that we've seen, even some that, that we know about, that come to our thoughts right away. But imagine having to call that live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And produce that. There's no way.
And when all the cameras are trying to get that shot, like they're told make sure you get a good shot of the players and all this, no matter what's going on, get your best shot. And granted, I bet you there's not a whole lot of tenure behind those cameras. I mean, there's probably a couple guys have been there for 10, 20 years that says, you know what, I'm not taking this shot. I'm going to get a shot of the crowd, or I'm going to get a shot of the big screen or blimp or something, right? But then you got all these other, you know, younger, in my opinion, camera people maybe being like, oh, damn it, I want to make sure I get this
he
shot.
froze. Well, I'm gonna vamp while he's going, but
for the producer.
But yeah, man, I have no idea.
You hear me? Uh-oh.
And there you go. You're back. All right.
So I froze for a second.
Yeah, you did. So I didn't really say much. I was like, oh, I'm a
I could hear you, but you froze. I could hear you, but you froze, but I kept talking. But imagine that.
There you go again.
Imagine that. What do we got going on?
Yeah. Well, you know how it goes. But yeah, it was just and then after that, like I said, it becomes and for me, I'm now a fan. This podcast is the voice and the emotion of the fan, okay, of my fandom, of your fandom, oozing out through everybody's speakers and all of this, right? So I'm looking, going, yo, I can't believe this. This is the craziest thing. I'm feeling wild. And next thing I'm looking, going, oh my God, look at how many people have to react to this. Now they go, because the two guys, they can't even they don't have anything. Joe Buck and Troy have nothing to say. So they have to throw it to Susie, Booger, and Schefter. They don't have nothing to say either.
No, they're struck. They're struck too, though. You know, everyone's.
And you know, shout out to, I mean, word is, you know, homie investigations and everything says that the use of ventilation is not being used as heavily as a life-saving measure for them at this point. So things are pointing in a positive direction. We'll hope that they all stay that way. But you know what I mean? Like I you know, kind of humorously alluded to a second ago, you know, I had the fantasy championship on the line, right?
Yeah.
And forget my fantasy championship. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you in it too?
Oh yeah, like you didn't know.
Oh God. I didn't even know who the dude was I was facing.
Oh shit.
Okay. I don't even know who the dudes are that I be facing. I just go undefeated. Well, I didn't go undefeated, you know what I'm saying? But I took a couple L's, but enough to make it look like everybody had a chance. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, there is some more stuff going on that's bigger than that. And then you start talking about the NFL, man. The NFL is huge, huge business. You're his behavior, activity, actions, whatever, right?
Sorry, what I lost you at. NFL is huge business. That's all I got, and then it cut out.
Oh, that was it. And I was circling back. But then you start thinking about, how does the NFL react? Because my fantasy team was not the only thing that was on the line. There's teams and stuff have movement and jockeying that depended on the AFC, you know, and what happened in this game.
Yeah,
exactly. And you know what I mean? And people are like, man, forget, you know, fuck that, and fuck your fantasy team, and fuck these teams, and all it is, you know, this kid. Man, everybody need to stop being self-righteous. It's all good. Y'all was watching, you know, Most Dangerous Hits like I was as a kid. You need to chill out, okay? Look, peace to the kid. I love him. I hope well wishes, everything, all that. But at the same time, the NFL is a business, shady like the government, dog. You think they ain't got storylines going and all of this? We've been trying to tell you, it's been happening from day one. So you trying to think something real that happened to the NFL that they could not control, they're not going to pull out the spin doctors, dog?
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I'm tell them how you feel about this.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. When they can capitalize on business in a way, the NFL will find every freaking way to do it,
Come
to
on.
spin it, to do it right, and make money and do their thing.
Always.
Why do you think Goodell took 30, 45 minutes to an hour to decide if they're going to play the game, which is fucking nonsense?
Peace.
Never should have took that long to figure it out. Um, especially when you get a guy carted off who had to be resuscitated on the field, and you see the players and how they're reacting, and damn well none of them guys were very well. And from what I
No way.
see and from what I heard, it sounds like Zach Taylor and
Sean McDermott.
McDermott, were the head leaders in this, and said, you know what, this is not happening. So shout out to them. And they probably not getting enough credit for
Come on.
how they handle that locker room.
Exact. Come on.
53 plus men and
Come
and
on.
other trainers and associates along with the team. This is the head coach who deals with enough during the game and in practice and all this. And now his whole mindset had to change
In that
to
moment.
basically father figure,
Yeah.
and take care of all these and make sure all these players are mentally okay after that.
He had to
can't
go.
imagine.
He had to go fight for them, because I
Yeah.
guarantee you, on everything I love, the NFL wanted that game to keep going.
Oh,
Did you
I don't
hear?
disagree. I don't disagree with you at all.
I don't know if you remember, because you probably didn't have a sound up at the restaurant, but they did. If I'm not mistaken, what's my man's name? Oh, I'm sorry, Jack Buck. I'm sorry, his son Joe Buck.
Joe Buck, yeah.
Oh wow, I'm old school. Gee, look,
Yeah.
Joe Buck says they're gonna give him 5 minutes to warm up. Now, where did that come from? Joe Buck doesn't come up with this off the top of his head. That was said through his earpiece. These dudes are just there to look pretty and to give us details of the game that we could already damn see. Okay?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
somebody told him that. You trying to tell me the NFL didn't want that damn game to keep going? Why? Because where are we going to put it back on the schedule? I don't know. This is the number 1 and number 2 team pretty much in the damn AFC, if you don't count Kansas City. Is 1, 2, 3, all 3 of them, right? So,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We need to figure something out with this game. We can't squeeze it back in somewhere, because we got to do next week's schedule. We talking about doing what is the damn shit that they do with the TV channels when they decide what game? I'm spacing right now.
Oh,
the damn flex.
Flex, yeah.
We think about flexing the schedule for the week for the final week. We really don't know what to do. So you didn't think that New York NFL offices was popping, like everybody was sleeping? Everybody's cell phone went off, dog.
Yeah, and they all got up and said, "Let's go." What are we
On
do
duty,
now?
off duty, every department.
Yeah. No, and then Joe Buck sounded shook and looked shook too. He was like, "What am I saying right now? Like, am I really relaying this message? Like, I'm just he's like the freaking assassination guy or whatever, right in the middle of the gunfire, man. Throw him out there to be the ringer." But yeah,
That's why I was like, man, shout out to Walter Cronkite. It feels like one of them old school where it's like when Walter Cronkite had to deliver the news to the country that JFK was shot. I mean, this is not that kind of magnitude, right? I'm not comparing them two things for idiots out there, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I would never, right? But what I'm saying is that dude had to deliver that news like we were talking about early on live television with something real that is out of production's control right now. Only thing production can do is camera off, go to a different camera that we want to see something. We go to the fans with empty stands. We go to something.
People leaving, right? You go to, yeah.
We show pictures
of
traffic anything.
Outside the stadium.
Because you think about, they tried to keep running commercials because they didn't have anyone who can put together sentences that would be significant in any way.
No.
You would just be throwing out word vomit if you said anything, because you're not saying anything of consequence. You don't know anything. Nobody wants to hear your opinion right now, so it's kind of like just shut up. So they could have just cut off, but they had to do something. They already paid for commercials, were already paid for and all of that. But what I was saying before we did that, I was like, yo, hey, the NFL is a huge conglomerate. How do you put a spin on all of this, right? And I was talking about your boy Dana White, which I can't love to hear how he's running this huge conglomerate. He is the head. The drama is his. And now the spin doctor's got to go to work. What happened to your boy Dana White, man? I mean, we still got some time to talk to the people.
We got a few minutes. Let's close. We can close it out with a little bit of propaganda here.
I need to know.
Boys out hanging out in Mexico City, somewhere in Mexico on
Sounds
New Year's
like a
Eve.
ball. Sounds like
New Year's
fun
Eve,
day.
tipping back a few drinks.
Hey,
however,
as you should.
And there's two sides of this story. The first side is what happened. The second side is you haven't heard about it since, and the only people to report it is TMZ. And every time the UFC's asked about it, they say go see the UFC or go see the TMZ article. And I haven't been able to catch up on it all yet. I got a lot of catching up to do between my
wait a minute. This ain't old,
and
is
8
it?
o'clock bedtime.
This ain't from a year ago, New Year's, is it?
No, this is from this weekend, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be from this weekend. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But it's still not being talked about because
he got good spin doctors.
His wife came out and said, her piece. He said his piece. The point is, have you seen the video?
No. Describe to me what happened.
So they're up on the balcony having drinks or whatever, talking. She looks a little distraught. She turns around. She slaps him first.
Okay. Does he look like he was prepared for it? He's looking at her face to face?
No, she basically turns around, looks at him. Yeah, they were looking face to face, but she leans up off the edge kind of thing, the counter, turns around, slaps him, and he
suddenly.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, whoa, and then they say he slapped her or whatever, but you could tell it's more of like in my opinion, almost like a push
out the way.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? Like, kind of get out of my face type thing. So that's the story. And then of course, he actually owned up to it, said, he never put a hands on a woman, no excuses. There was a lot of drinking. It's my fault. I hit her. We talked about it. Shouldn't have happened.
Right.
We're worried about our kids, blah, blah, blah. But the point, like I said, the second point of it is, or one of the points is, you don't, like you said, where's all the discussion of what's Dana White doing? Why?
How come he ain't canceled? How come he's not immediately canceled right now?
Yeah, how is he not canceled yet?
Is the NFL news and what happened to my man Hamlin letting Dana slide?
If you've seen it, you've seen all these sports talk guys going off on each other. Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, Dan Orlovsky. They all have different. Ryan Clark. All these guys are going off, not necessarily against one another, except for Skip and Shannon. But I mean, with all that ESPN talk, there's no time for SportsCenter to go say, oh well, and there's no UFC events right now, so Dana doesn't have to stand in front of any sports media and discuss this right now. I mean, so it's definitely getting pushed under a little bit. It's kind of like what happened that was what were we talking about? I wish I could remember we were doing something. This is the same thing that happened to somebody else a few months ago when we were doing something.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, look, so you think the ESPN is covering for him? Do you think ESPN is that what you were saying? That's what it sounded like you were saying.
Yeah, I think ESPN's definitely covering up this a little bit because that's what they're doing, because that is their moneymaker right now.
Yes.
Is Dana White. I mean, they're raising their prices again on ESPN Plus for pay-per-views from, it was $55 a few years ago to $65 to $70. Now it's going back up to $75 for pay-per-views. Or no, $79 for pay-per-views. So of course they're doing their best to not have to discuss anything about the UFC right now.
Welcome to the dark side. Now we have met Dark Side Stix. I'm glad, man. It took some USC stuff happen to bring it out of you. But look, come on, bro. Are we really going to expect the owner, commissioner, I don't know what his official title is, Presidente, but anyway, he's in partnership, in cahoots with Mickey Mouse, bro.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse is not going to let stuff like this slide. Mickey Mouse is like Elsa and Frozen, and you know what I mean,
100%.
Disney
put it
princess,
this way, though,
right?
Put it this way: you've had him come out and say there's no reason to put your hands on a woman, which he's right. And then he's had fighters who've done it, who he's released, right? But of course, those were extensive circumstances. One of the guy named War Machine ended up almost killing his girlfriend because he was doing more than, slapping her.
I mean, come on, man.
But you have Misha Tate, who's a former UFC fighter. She also mentioned something that I saw her post is, before we go out and accuse a man of basically,
yeah, we know, right?
The woman, when she's the instigator,
of course,
she needs to be treated the same way.
It's got to be 50-50. That's how it should be. But that's not my concern. I get all of that, because look, they could have just had a dust up because we had a disagreement about what appetizer we were going to have that night.
Right.
Somebody caught it on TMZ and it looked dirtier than it's supposed to, right? It could be that simple, right? So I don't care necessarily about that. But why would we not be, what I'm saying? I get the cover up. I love that. But why would we be concerned? Why are we not? Of course, we're not going to question what Vince McMahon and Dana White are into. Look at the business that's what into. It was. I'm doing business with Saudi Arabian dudes who are starting wars against us, getting money because he's trying to get fighters off here in war-torn Russia and Nurmagomedov and all of these dudes I've never even heard of with more vowels and long-ass names that are trying to knock people's damn teeth out. You think these people come from democratically elected nations that are loving life and fighting on because they love it so much? No, in war-torn nations, this dude is finding people. Man, word on the street is your boy Dana White be having dudes hang out, like when people win the Super Bowl and they go, "Hey, I'm going to Disneyland." No, he be taking dudes over to some weird country and they go and blow up stuff with military stuff. So this is a dude that has military shit. And they go, "Hey, you won the belt, cuz we got to go over there, homie. We got to go blow some shit up." This is the business you in. You think Vince McMahon don't know about steroids? You don't think Vince McMahon don't know about pills? I mean, come on. You can't ask these dudes to be clean because of the business of knocking people's damn lights out.
Hey, I ain't disagreeing with you. There is some wild shit that Dana White does.
He got to be doing wild shit. He got to be drinking. He got to be drinking. He's in a business that's crazy. He got to be doing the same shit as the damn Girls Gone Wild dude. Oh, swear to God, that dude is living the same life as the Girls Gone Wild dude, except for he's not out here with naked girls and blah, blah, blah. But he's living that fast.
And he's not off the grid.
Yeah, he's living the fast, known life. Like, my name is Dana White. I'm out here making moves. UFC. I'm big dog. You know what I'm saying? Private jets. That's the life he's living, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Shout out Dana White for taking responsibility for it and making amends, and ESPN for sliding it under the rug.
Hey.
That's the only good thing I'll ever say about ESPN, because you know how pissed off I am at those motherfuckers for their ESPN Plus. Hey, well, it's been nice catching up with you, homie. We're going to have to catch up again soon. Sooner or later, we'll see what happens.
We'll drop a bomb on.
Subscribe, rate, and review on whatever favorite podcast platform you listen to. Go to thisisfunner.com for more for more podcasts and online content.
Yeah, podcasts and online content.
Check out the YouTube channel. I think homie's going to have a little surprise for you here in a couple days. Some clips or something. I don't know if you pull any clips from this, but we'll have it up there. Chris, the producer, is gonna throw it up there on YouTube for y'all, so check it out.
Chris D to produce.
Thanks for listening. We appreciate y'all. Thanks. We're back. We'll be back again. What you got for the people, homie? If you got anything left to spew, my guy.
Man, I don't really have a lot, man. All I have to do is say, man, yo, dude, shout out much.
That was Sports Fix with Stix. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. If you want to join the show, use the hashtag StixandSports.
Winners don't make excuses.